Hello everybody, we're back. This is Grumpy Dave doing the Grumpy Dave stuff, getting into the final set. All those measurements and everything comes down to one final cut. Transmission will move back. I'll get the inch I need up front, and we can set the cross member, drill it, tap it, install it, then start from the back and go forward putting everything in. That'll come back. That'll allow the transmission drive shaft to be in a proper angle. Okay. This thing's kind of warped and banged around a little bit. You can see where it's all flexed out of shape. Can't help it. So I'm going to cut that, but I'm not going to push it back because right now it's easy to unbolt this. I got to take this back out, get it re-welded. I tried to weld it when it was in the car. I couldn't do it. I made a mess out of it. Trying to weld my left hand. So I'll get it all buffed and cleaned up and paint off of it. Have my fabricator get it back to square and straight because we need that to set the motor mounts. And then the only thing we got to do is bolt them together, scoot it back. I'm saying do the bolts for the cross member back there, and then we can set the motor mounts up here. So that'll tell me that when this is back where it needs to be, right here is where my drop down fender well header needs to be. We'll be making those out of a different set. See, the engine's still sitting that way a little bit. It's got to be. There, I'll take the pressure off of it. There. So I can move it around. I'm not going to move it back the final inch, which will give us what we need right here. Something else we had to consider. The mounts will go back a little bit. Here's your shaft. It's just an alignment position. It is not in place. Sliding it in and out of that knuckle is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to cut this. So we're ready to put the final position on it. And then I'll have to get my welder over here later, and we'll discuss the cross member and the transmission and the placement, so we can get the motor mounts welded in correctly, especially since we got to straighten some panels and weld my mock-up block back together since I abused it. So I'm going to make the cut real quick, which will relieve the transmission valve body from hitting the body. Make sure I got no surprises, and I don't. See, right up and about here, I'll drill up through that motor mount. I'll see the holes, then I'll cut it out, and I got to cut it up no wider than 2 inches dead center because I don't want to cut into the U-channel building the body. Then I can take a piece of flat stock, drill it, tap it, spot weld it down in there. But I can bolt the cross member in, then reach in there and tack weld it, and he can repair the floor when we get to that. So right now, transmission was holding it up. So right there's the cross member. So the plate will be right in here. So I'll just cut this rib out, get in here and do it. That's the distance here that has to come back to be a perfect fit. I don't know if she'll go back right now or not. Let me make a slight adjustment and we'll see what happens. Other than the fact that I blew up my idea. There's the drill bit. Okay, let's take a look under to see what's going on. We should be just about there. We shall find out. Okay, that's relieved. That's not touching. Oh, I see. This is hitting my blocks here. No big deal. I got to get the block fixed. So I'll get the mock-up out. It's easier to do it right now with the extra room up there. And then when it comes back, I'll reset the mounts back here. Oh man, there's so much stuff going on. Here. The final angle will have to be dealt with. I can take the plate out, reverse this, weld it in like so. Drill this out bigger so I can get a nut and a socket up in there. So it'll drop it down approximately what we need, have a perfect arrangement. That's pretty cool. Pretty good. I'll do that fabricating when I'm ready to do it final. When she's in, Because the next one, the mock-up has to be in position exactly where it goes with the motor mounts, which will tell me exactly where to put the cross member. Then I'll just do the cross member real quick, and then I can articulate the motor. Okay. To where it needs to be. Make sure that's tight. Pull my tools out. I gotta power wash this driveway. After I power wash the driveway, I'll come back in here and reset everything, because I got to get the jack stands in to release the pressure off of the hydraulics. This is just for fitment. The actual support's up there. So I'll get a jack stand in here. That'd be a good thing to do. Put a jack stand here, just let this sit down on it, and it'll sit on the one up there. And I can take it apart and let it sit here till we get everything done on it. Transmission is up in the back and it's supposed to be down, so I've got to make that alteration, which will also help close up that gap with this relief cut I did here. And you can see where I blew the side out of this thing when the engine fell over. The transmission dropped out, the engine fell over, it kicked that jack stand out, sitting on the slight angle driveway, away she went. So I'll get this refigured, but right now it's perfect to get the bolts in and out to get the mock-up done. That was impressive. I like that. I'll do my cutting and fixing and carrying on tomorrow evening, because tomorrow is my rain day shopping with the wife. She's dragging me to the stores and making me miserable. So I'm going to drive with her, and we're going to pick up some stuff, extra paper towels and stuff, because I'm using so many of them out here. And then, since it's going to be a rainy day, but the only thing I got to do is take the trash out and some stuff, because it's a cleanup day. And then I'll go in the garage. Hopefully I can get something done on the LS in there, and I'll work on that bracket piece for the cross member. I'll be able to remove it, and I can get it refigured again. So now the transmission will come down in the back like it's supposed to, and it'll come back at about an inch. Well, you can see the cross member there, kind of in the sight there. Okay, so this will come back, which this angle will change a little bit because this thing's flexed out of shape. You can see it big time if you're standing right here. I'll get this thing moved back an inch straight across and square, and that's the final resting place, which will clear the oil pan to the rack and pinion. The shaft, the steering shaft, will then clear the motor mount. This has to be centered once that's done. It's just a series of things that fall into place, and I've been going through this in my head over and over and over. And I got it all figured out. So what I did is I decided to do reverse engineering. We took an MG and a transmission that's never supposed to fit in it, and it'll fit in it. I'm making the car fit the transmission so I can install the engine I want. I need to get out of this heavy duty mechanic work and give my shoulder some more healing time. So as soon as I get the mock-up repaired and I can get the cross member in, we can bolt the motor mounts up and see what he wants to do there, because he's going to be doing all the cutting and fabricating. The only thing I got to do is clean the cross member, which I will do when the mock-up is out of the way. And he's going to cut it and fit it and weld them. And then I'll pull the mock-up back out so he can get in there and put a super weld on it. And anything else he wants to do. And then I can start the sheet metal work on the firewall and in here. And then the final placement will be the moving the engine back in, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the transmission down on a car skate and just roll it back out of the way. I don't need to keep taking it totally in and out from underneath the car, because when we get done with the final fitment next time and the motor mounts are spot welded in and everything's kind of going, it's green light for me to start fabricating all this sheet metal, and then I get to clean all this crap again. I'm just cleaning the surfaces where the welders meet up, okay? And then once we get everything fabricated and everything the way I like it, I'll come in and start cleaning this all out at one time and get it in primer. Right now I'll work on for 2 days, and we get 2 days of rain and I'm right back to looking like this again. I'm just tired of dealing with it. I need to get the panels in, get the seam sealer on them, so I can come in here and just sand this thing out and seal it and seam seal it and paint it again and make it look good. There's no other way to put it. Okay.
He went to go pick up pizza. He bought us one.
That boy eats pizza 24/7.
I know.
Would you hand me a beer? Then I'm going to take a break, and then it's time to get the power washer out and power wash the engine. I need to clean this whole driveway. I can't even roll the creeper around. I'm running over stuff. Well, people, that's going to be the end of this video. I will pick it up later when we get the LS cleaned up. Show you what we've done there. It'd be a good rainy day project tomorrow. Then I can work on that bracket and the cross member. I'll take it out and put it on the workbench in there. I got like, my workbench has got 6 projects going on. Maybe a rainy day would be a good day to just finish them up and clean off the bench so I can put the tools away. Because in 2 weeks we should be welded, fabricated, completed, so the transmission can go on the engine stand and be done. New seals, front and rear, new pan gasket, new filter. Drain what I can out of the torque converter, and then I'll refill it with some fresh fluid and snap it back on, lock it back in place. Show you how to do that. And then transmission will come back out and get lowered back in and put it in position with the mock-up on it, so it's easier to handle with the mock-up on the front of it. We'll get it in place, and the cross member will be back ready to bolt in, so that'll take care of the back side of the transmission. I can block it and brace it and do the rest. Don't forget my lottery tickets.
Okay.
The woman wins at everything she does, and she fights me to spend $5 for a lottery ticket. I said, I'll pay the money. Now she'll do it since I'm paying for it. But I'll guarantee you, she's the one who'll have the money hit her little hand when the deal done. Whatever. So I'm going to drink a cold one here, people, and set up and get the power washer out. Drinking some Corona. This cut came out perfect. It clears that shift lever and stuff down there, and the stop neutral switch perfect. That's going to not hit the valve body. So I have officially as of today, cut the car up to the point that the car will fit the transmission. No ifs, ands, buts, or fours about it. I got some fine work to do, and like I said, I got to get the welder over here, and we got to review a couple things. I'll get this mock-up out. I don't know what it is with these wasps and these bees around here. Got to wear gloves so you can smack them away from you. They got Puppy on the nose the other day. She was not a happy camper for her first bee sting. She come running to me like somebody hurt her. People, get your build on. Don't stall. Get it done. Have a blessed day. We'll be back at you in the third video here as soon as we get set up to do it. I need to give my shoulder a few minutes to rest. That little bit of work between the last two videos, it took 2 hours because I'm doing everything with my left hand because my right is not being nice. I kind of overextended the work ethic until the shoulder heals. Have a blessed day, everybody.